What
hey
is
everybody.
up, family?
Oh my gosh.
I cut you off hard.
Jeez. All the cut. Okay, so we got round 5 here. We got Mono Blue Tron versus Elves. And Victor was just saying that he thinks Elves shits all over Mono Blue Tron. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I don't know exactly what Connor's 75 looks like, but you got all kinds of fun things you can do.
I played against Connor on Tuesday, and I believe he does have Chalice, and I think Chalice is a big deal.
Chalice is a big deal. Also, you got plenty of sweet. You got O-Stone and All Is Dust even. If you can assemble those things quickly enough, they just wreck your opponent. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Obviously, the player of the draw is a big deal here for Game 1, and of course the match. My guess is the player on the play wins the match, but certainly it's going to be something like 60-40 in that player's favor.
So it looks like Addison is taking a Mold of 5, which is not a good start.
No, that is not a good start at all. Now, is Addison on the player draw?
I'm not entirely certain. I saw them rolling some die or some dice. 2 dice.
Yes, that is the plural.
But I'm not sure who won. Connor is on the play.
So Connor's on the play, and Addison's on a Mold of 5. Now, it is nice that when you're on a Mold of 5 and you keep it, you get to scry and draw 6. Like, that's, you know, could be worse, but...
Keep scry to the bottom. I know for sure he's got at least some number of lands to work with. Tower into the map.
So that's a
pretty,
pretty...
that's a pretty bad feel.
Yeah.
So if he has... Oh, he just drew another...
So we're going to have turn 3 Tron here,
but
folks.
Instead... He looked like he was thought about playing that island, but then I presume he saw the cavern.
Yeah, he saw the cavern.
Like, okay, I can't
cavern. So turn 3 Tron is good, but
shove.
Mono Blue Tron doesn't have a lot of payoff from turn 3 Tron because they usually actually don't even play Karn in Mono Blue Tron because Karn is really only good on turn 3, and Mono Blue doesn't often assemble Tron on turn 3.
It's about the same consistency, if not a little bit more than
Eldrazi Tron. Yeah, because you have maps, and then you also have a little bit of scrying and cantripping, but
not a whole lot.
Yeah, not a lot.
You're not playing specifically cards to assemble Tron.
Yeah,
as quickly as possible. So he drew another tower, so he's got 10 mana in play on turn 4, which is
so Thought Knot is not bad here.
Thought Knot.
Oh wow, land company. Jeez, that is brutal.
Trash bowl,
that is just a brutal Thought Knot. I mean, company could have easily climbed you out of this, though. You know,
not easily. It had its work cut out for it, but it certainly could have done the job.
Right. I mean, Connor's not got much to do other than that, right? He's got a Condescend and 4 land. Oh, he's got a Remand and 4 more lands, I think.
Hey, Remand can draw a card through.
Yeah, you can't always Remand through Cavern. Don't let your opponent tell you once you cast a spell that's uncounterable and they try to remand it, don't let them take the remand back and say, oh, I can't target that. No, you can target it. You can target any uncounterable spell with a counter. Had a player try to do that to me once.
Addison has drawn a pretty decent one, but I believe Connor also just top-decked a Worm Coil Engine or some promo colorless card.
Threat that's pretty tough to beat.
Yes.
Now, you can always go over the top with the Zuri. But could be tough here.
Now, unfortunately, if he did draw a Worm Coil, I don't think he can hold up Remand and cast a Worm Coil, which is kind of funny considering he has 8 mana.
Right.
But, you know, at least the Tron lands have some kind of drawback.
Tell me what you think about this, Victor. I think Tron would be totally balanced and fine and fair to play against in Modern if they made one simple change. If they made each Tron land legendary, meaning that you couldn't have 2 mines in play without having to sack one of them.
I think that would be awesome.
That would be that's the most reasonable way to balance them, I think. And now they are, so I will say, I think they are balanced. It's just they're annoying to play against. Like, they are balanced.
It's pretty damn bad to get turn 4 Ulamog'd.
Yes, it does.
It's pretty damn bad.
But I think, like, if you couldn't, like, if they had 2 mines in play in their opening hand, like, let's say they have mine, you know, they have, like, mine, tower, and a map. Well, that's not a good example. But if somehow the lands were legendary, each one, and then so having redundant copies meant that it would make their early game more awkward and make more hands of theirs needing to be mold. And it also hurts their late game a little bit because they can't make 10 mana or 12 mana so easily.
I think that's a very interesting solution to the Tron being the worst. conundrum that we're in.
Yeah, Eldrazi Tron it's such a bad deck, but it puts up such good numbers. I mean, it's the winningest deck in Modern right now by most counts on MTG
I'm
top 8.
goddamn sick of playing with 2 ceremonious rejections
Yeah,
on the board.
me too. Did you know that on MTG Goldfish right now, Jeskai mid-range, Jeskai Tempo is the #1 deck in the Modern meta.
I'm not surprised by that.
At like 7.6%.
And stuff, it seems to be quite popular.
I saw a lot of Dark Jeskai at the RPTQ, but also just a lot of regular Tempo Jeskai. Dark Jeskai meaning they were just playing Kolagans and Crackling Doom and crap like that. But
I mean,
yeah, Snapcaster Bolt,
Snapcaster
Spellqueller.
Kolaghan's Command, I think, has a nice pedigree.
Yeah.
You know, that's a good little combination of cards you got right
Yep,
there.
it's pretty good.
But
no, it's not very good against Tron.
not very good against Tron. It's not the worst.
Kolaghan's Command is okay, and then sometimes it's just bad. So Alex Magic 8, regarding your question, he says, did you really just say Eldrazi Tron is a bad deck? And what I mean by that is, I know it puts up great numbers. It's a very powerful deck. It has a lot of really swingy hands and a consistency problem. But the overwhelming power of the deck, yeah, I think it allows you to win a lot of games, steal a lot of games with cards like Chalice and All Is Dust. Put on a lot of impressive starts with Thought Knot and Smasher.
Void was not a card, I don't think Eldrazi Tron could exist as today.
Yeah, that's true. If the deck didn't have Chalice, it almost couldn't function. I mean, it has no card selection or consistency. Sometimes you just have turn 3 Tron and you play something ridiculous. Sometimes you derp around and do nothing for 6 turns. I mean, I've watched a whole lot of Eldrazi Tron on top deck here. And I've played against a whole lot of Eldrazi Tron, and they just the deck has incredibly swingy hands.
They very seldom feel like I have nice, close, competitive games against Eldrazi Tron. You just get face rolled, or you face roll them because they don't really do much.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And I will also add that being a Death Shadow player, losing to a top deck Reality Smasher feels pretty damn bad.
Yeah, I mean, especially
Reality Smasher,
when the deck has no card selection like that, it's especially frustrating. The best card selection they have is Seagate Wreckage,
which isn't really card selection.
No, it's more like, let me try to draw 2 cards a turn and hope they're not garbage.
Yeah, because essentially that deck is just cards on curve that are good.
Yeah, of course, there's no guarantee that you can play them on curve.
Yeah, and if you play them ahead of curve, you're just doing it.
Right,
you're doing it.
So I played against Eldrazi Tron in round 3 of the RPTQ, and my opponent ends up top 8ing. But he, in game 1 against me, he just goes Tronland, 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 Karn. And I'm like, what the hell?
If you get naturaled by that deck, it's pretty.
Well, that's the thing. I'm like, okay, so I guess he's on regular Tron, because how could he go But he didn't play a map, didn't play a Stirrings, no Sylvan Scrying, nothing. He just goes land, Tron. I'm like, okay,
like what we just witnessed here.
Right, and I'm like, he must be on Tron. Platinum Angel. I'm like, he must be on Tron, and then game 2
through the Stony Silence, I might add.
Yeah,
natural, which is a pretty damn bad feel.
Yeah, that does feel bad.
I think this epitomizes why a lot of people don't like Tron. Because it's hard to interact with what they're doing aside land hate. Oftentimes land hate is too slow in Modern.
Yeah, the decks that play, some Jund decks will play 3 or 4 Fulminator Mages, and that is just not good enough.
Yeah, if you're on the draw, you still get turn 3 cards.
The only way you can do it with Fulminator Mage is if you're playing a Hierarch variant of Black-Green, and then you can play a turn 2 Fulminator that also swings for 3 beforehand, which is okay. But it's hard to deal
Addison
with.
has a pretty good draw here. He's been curving out pretty well, curved out into company.
Yeah, the problem is
However,
he has to find a Reclamation Sage or something, or the Tron deck is just going to stall and drop an Ugin or something.
Or in this case, he can't lose the game currently.
That's what I'm saying. He can sit here and stall with this unless Addison has like a Rex Sage. Connor has free reign to either assemble his combo with Mindslaver or drop an Ugin or whatever. So
I'm fairly certain that Connor has a hand full of blue spells and no blue mana.
So that happens. That actually happens a lot with Blue Tron. Blue Tron decks actually play like 8 or 9, even 10 islands, and it's kind of funny. Sometimes you'll see players actually go get an island, a basic island, with their expedition map.
Just wants to do that so bad.
Yeah,
right now.
Sometimes players will go get it instead of assemble Tron. Yeah, exactly.
Now, does Platinum Angel say only he is unable to lose the game, or is nobody able to win the game?
No, he can win the game with Platinum Angel in play.
Okay.
Platinum Angel says you can't lose the game and your opponents can't win the game. So. Yeah, there we have it on the screen for you folks. That's a very spicy Masterpiece version.
Such spice.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to me. That Masterpiece, it's sort of like, it's like the flavor text wants it to be like sort of like an inappropriate, an item that you would buy at the Hustler store. That's sort of how the flavor text reads to me. Oh, we need to confiscate that. Once you see it, you'll understand why.
Is it like the Rick and Morty? Whatever I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the Raising a Zorpazorp episode. Yeah.
One of those kind of robots.
Yeah, one of those kinds of robots. So still no blue mana for Connor. It's too bad that.
I don't think he's sweating it too much right now.
No, I don't think so either. But it's too bad that Talarian Academy,
right now, considering that Addison has not slammed the Rex Sage.
Yeah, no Rex Sage.
I feel like he's slamming that if he draws. I don't think he's slow roll that.
He must have a Rex Sage.
I mean, he couldn't.
Well,
he also could not. Then he could just die.
Think if Connor has a Torpor Orb in addition to this Platinum, is just shut off the Rex Sage plan. I'd love that.
But, sometimes you don't need much.
A Dispel from Connor. Yet another card that is literal, not a card in his hand. It's sort of like he Blood Mooned himself.
I mean, it's sort of like he cast a 7-drop on turn 3, naturaled it, no big deal. And then he's just going to ride that to the victory.
Yeah, it's going to hit his opponent for 4 over and over.
And he's unable to get the island, for those that don't know, because of the Stone Sound.
Yeah, he can't crack his map because of the Stonian play.
I think on the last possible turn, presumably.
Wait, Addison drew a Rex Sage?
I think he did.
Oh? Folks, Addison drew a Rex Sage.
And, he courted.
Oh, he courted for Rex Sage.
Which, that'll do it.
Yeah, too bad Connor didn't have the Torpor Orb.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you're gonna play a card that
didn't have a single blue mana, because I'm pretty sure his hand was chocked full of
counter.
Could have condescended that for like 11, which is typically enough.
I'd have way preferred Connor to have a Torpor Orb there instead of an island. If you're gonna play a permanent like Platinum Angel that says you can't lose, you better back it up. You better get an insurance policy like a Torpor Orb.
Are there any? Well, then that would turn off his. Sundering Titans.
That would turn. Is that a comes into? Yeah, that's an ETB effect, right?
I know it also is when it leaves play, so you can get it on the way out, but not on the way in.
Yeah, that is correct. But yeah, Torpor Orb doesn't shut much else off in Connor's deck, I don't think. So game 3, what are these folks doing?
Imagine what Connor has in his sideboard. I mean, we saw a Dispel.
So I think, he had the Dispel. I think he does have Chalice.
You don't think he has that main deck?
Main deck Chalice and the Mono Blue Tron deck? No, I don't think so.
And why is that? Why don't you think so?
Well, it's just Chalice isn't good enough against enough decks to play main board most of the time. It's good enough in Legacy to play like main board in Legacy Loam, but there are a lot of decks in Modern that don't really care that much about Chalice on 1, so I don't think it's a very good main board card. But
well, the Eldrazi Tron proponents, I feel like, would probably disagree with you. Eldrazi Tron people in our comments, flame Mark for his ignorance.
So, not everybody plays Chalice main board in Eldrazi Tron.
Looks like Connor's taking a mulligan. Getting the taste of that feel, I guess.
Yeah. So, Connor could have like a Ratchet Bomb to deal with some of these elves. In fact, I guess you could even play Engineered Explosives in Mono Blue Tron, but that just seems worse than Ratchet Bomb.
Set it for 1.
Yeah.
Boom. I've seen a Field of Ruin, an island. So this draw is looking fine. Looks like he can cast things, which is nice. Last game, he could not cast things, except not blue cards, which he had exactly 2 of.
Yeah, that was pretty sad. Is that a Guru Island, or is that? No, it's not.
No, that is not.
That's some sort of island. It's a very old island. I don't know what that is. We're hearing Mirage.
The Peanut Gallery is chiming in once again.
Yeah, thank God Victor and I have all this help tonight, because we are not. Like I said, can't even spell magic.
Yeah. We're just a bunch of dumb boys sitting back here.
Boys with the Z.
And an I. So right now, Connor's sitting behind a bit of a counter wall. I think every card in his hand is blue.
That looks correct.
And it doesn't look like he has any other lands, so I bet he's hoping just to be able to condescend something.
So do you just remand?
Or are those anticipates in his hand? I think those may be anticipates.
Yeah, I think.
I'm not entirely certain.
Could be, yeah. So he's thinking about countering this.
He's pondering it.
He has an Elvish Mystica.
Oh, it seems
so
as though
it's resolved. Okay.
So I'm assuming those are anticipates, and he's just going to end step one of those.
That's a new condescend, yeah. So he'll scry the land to the top, untap, play a land.
So ironically enough, I think the Llanowar Elf was a little bit of a higher value condescend target, considering the guy's
on one land. Yeah. Now, of course, Connor didn't know that his opponent was on one land.
So, poor guy.
Yeah.
You know.
But so
I still think
I can't tell who's. Ooh, Heritage. You got to have a counter for that, or else you're gonna start making mana.
That is definitely.
Do you condescend that guy here? Sure. Condescend X2.
So.
Oh wait, he can pay that.
He could pay for that. So I think you do. I think you do pay for that. I think I've learned in pretty much every instance you have the ability to pay for a counterspell, you probably should. A lot of times I'll think really hard about it, but I've yet to come across a situation where it's boned me.
Sure.
That I did that.
Sure. Repeal the Heritage Druid. Seems good. Draw a card. Draw a map. I would play the map, yeah.
Well, next turn he's going to get unloaded on a little bit.
Yeah.
The shields are down.
Play the Heritage Druid map. Make 3. Now we don't actually know that he has any great 3-mana plays.
I got to imagine he has.
If he just plays if he just plays a Lord here, that's not that good.
I mean, next turn it's tapping for 4 mana though. That's definitely
okay. So
and unless if he has an answer for it, which we know that Connor doesn't.
Yeah, he just plays a Lord and passes. So Connor
got a lot of mana right now.
But Connor does have Tron now.
But unfortunately, no payoff. So if he draws something sick this turn, he's in business. But I believe I did see a company in Addison's hand. So
yeah, so he might
he's got a company and a lot of leftover mana.
But do you think he can deal 20 damage in a turn? Probably only if he finds an Azuri, right?
I think he probably could. I think it's possible that he kills him this turn. But another repeal.
Repeal on the Arc Druid seems okay.
Draws another blue card, so he's just kind of fighting the good fight, trying to keep the board as clear as possible. So I'm curious to see what Addison's going to do here. I mean, he could just play the Lord again, but he also could company and then play another 1-mana guy. So he's got some options.
Yeah, definitely.
So he's pondering.
Oh, man,
thinking. I mean, he's got a lot of cards in his hand.
It's too bad Connor doesn't have a Warping Whale. Exile this Heritage Druid.
That would be nice.
That would be sweet.
That would be nice.
So play the Arc Druid.
Just running it back. Looks like a Dywin's Elite.
Okay, so now we can make 3 more mana. But
So
does he
now-
have something to do with this 3 mana?
I believe he's got a couple of things to do with some of that mana. I know for sure he's got a Chord in hand.
Well, what's he going to do, though? Chord for 1?
Oh, you're talking about with the 3 mana with the Heritage Druid?
Yeah,
right
that's
now?
all he can do.
Oh, no. I don't think he's going to do anything right now. But I do think...
What was that second card Connor drew? Oh, that's a Spyglass? Interesting. So Spyglass can't name mana abilities, though.
Fortunately cannot.
So he
Presumably why he discards
so
it.
he discards the Spyglass.
But maybe he should have kept it just for Azuri. Just
Yeah.
to maybe hold on a little bit longer. Because, I mean, these beats are moderately anemic right now.
Yeah.
Not too much is going on. Currently, he's taking Addison off of white mana because I think it's a pretty safe assumption that no Elves player in their right mind are going to be playing a Plains.
Yeah.
Plains seem
I'm not
pretty
sure.
raunchy.
Not sure what you even take him off of, but I think really what Connor just wants to have another blue mana. By getting by sacking Field of Ruins here, Connor just gets to have another blue, which seems better than the field.
So I believe this is happening in Addison's upkeep. So I think he's debating if he wants to respond to this or not.
I mean, you definitely want to float a mana with the
I'm just
the
debating,
Razor
is there,
Verge.
is there
But
any...
is there a play he needs to make with that mana during
I
upkeep?
don't think he needs to, but he may feel inclined to.
Well, if he has if, let's say he had a Crater Hoof and he needs to make Xaxes mana for it, but he's got plenty with the Arc Druid, so I don't really see what he needs to think about.
Well, here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If he goes for the Chord, or if he goes for a Company right now, he can recast it through a Remand if he does it only in his upkeep. If
Sure.
he waits, he can.
Yeah, I guess
not
playing around a
recast it.
Remand is relevant.
So
During your upkeep here.
I presume that's what he's doing right now. So right now he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in his pool.
So let's.
No,
see.
I mean I guess he can. Never mind. That's not the case. He can totally.
So he's chorded
play
for
through
3 here, right?
He's
So
got-
remand, chord for 3. But now he can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well,
4.
he actually can't. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. But if we let Field of Ruin resolve,
he'll
then
go
he'll
back
get
up to
he'll get
5.
1 more mana. Yeah, go back to 5. So that's interesting.
But again, he can't chord for 3, which is noteworthy. But
yes,
he does have
but
a
yeah,
Company
but he
in
can
his
still
hand as
chord.
well.
Yeah, he can still chord for 2, which is much better than chording for 1. So let's see how we do it. So make 3 mana with the Heritage Druid.
Oop, never mind. Pump fake. Pump fake. Go for it. I'm a big fan of the pump fake. And then looking at the top, I see a Revoker in there, and I don't know what else is a
So
hit.
blind Revoker, what's he naming?
That's an interesting question. Maybe.
Can we get confirmation on what Addison named with that Revoker?
Spider Monkey.
Named Ugin the Spirit
I think
Dragon.
that's reasonable.
That seems fine. Yep. Now, did he say Ugin the Spirit Dragon? Because saying Ugin, as we know, not enough.
That is not enough. If an opponent scummed me out of a situation like that, I think we're going out in the parking lot after the match.
I think what happened to that other guy, he named Borborygmos, but the problem is Borborygmos is an actual card.
And Borborygmos Enraged is another card.
Yeah.
Which is
I don't
what he
think
wanted to name.
Ugin is a card. Though Ugin's Messenger is a card, right? Or Scion of Ugin. Well, actually, Ugin's Messenger might be a card, too.
There's a lot of different Ugin.
All kinds of
cards.
Ugin things. There's that Ugin Manifest card.
There's
Ugin's Destiny,
Sanctum
maybe?
of Ugin.
They're saying, of course.
So he's
Gwyneth's
just
Elite. Free mana with this
playing out
Sarah's
stuff.
Druid.
Just going for it. Tapping 3. Another guy. So now all of his guys are getting +2/+2.
No big
So
deal.
He is just going to be able to kill him with combat damage. He doesn't really need to be fancy anymore.
So All Is Dust is alive out here, right? I know we've named Ugin with the Phyrexian Revoker, but we can still rip in All Is Dust.
He could spike in All His Dust.
Well,
That
he
would
could
be
even. He
sick.
actually has enough mana. He could spike a Thirst for Knowledge and then look for. No, he's just passing the turn. Okay.
So looks like he's probably dead.
Well,
but
no,
he
now,
could have theoretically.
Now, Victor,
Okay.
it's possible that he has a Quicken. He could Quicken in All His Dust.
That would be dirty.
And draw a card.
That would be dirty. However, the Revoker would live through that, which is noteworthy.
Yeah, that is noteworthy. Revoker does live through a Quicken and a regular All His Dust.
3, 6, 9. There's a lot of damage. You know, I didn't run all the numbers.
Oh,
but
plus the Azuri. Plus the Azuri.
I had it all.
Can we get
and he's still sitting with 2 cards.
Can we get a statistician to tell us? Maybe I guess you need probably calculus to tell us what is the most damage you can get with this Azuri. Actually, I guess it's just simple algebra, right? What's the most damage you can get?
And the salty reveals, which
6 lands in a row.
Yeah. Like,
hey, sometimes you gotta salt. You know, everybody does it.
I'm more of a salt in my bedroom alone.
Yeah, that seems like a personal problem. You know.
You know, it's not optimal. But you know, it works for me. I bottle up my emotions until they burst in a spectacular display.
I like to salt to my crew. You know, like if you go to a Magic event with the crew, you know, don't salt at the table, but definitely go salt to your
crew. You salt to your boys.
Yeah, you salt to your crew. That's for sure.
Your boys get the full story.
Yeah. Did you know that
probably embellished a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. You always lie. You always say, "Oh my God, he
drew 4 siege rhinos." In reality, he drew 2, but you know,
right.
They're not gonna know.
Sometimes you accidentally say that he drew 5 siege rhinos, and then your friends are like, "Oh, he's just lying again." He's just being him, though. That's okay.
Well, I'm not a liar, so my friends don't describe me when I'm lying as being him. You know.
Right, they're like, this is so uncharacteristic for Victor. He never lies.
Yeah, like what's
maybe
going
he's
on?
just mistaken, simply mistaken.
I'm a very honorable individual, Mark. I'll have you know. So now that this match has come to a close,
yes, thank you.
Addison kind of wrecked our boy Connor, as I presume to be the case.
Yeah, no chalices from Connor.
No chalices.
But anyway, folks, thanks for spending your evening with us.
Are we just done? Is that it?
That was round 5, right?
You don't want to chit chat at all for a little bit?
Do I want to chit? No, I want to go home.
You want to go home?
It's been a long Black Friday.
Rubby Tuesdays.
I might go to Ruby Tuesdays. I might try to do that, but
I'm thinking I'm gonna spend the evening playing some Catan. I think
Settlers of Catan?
Yes.
That's a good game. Have you played the Seafarers expansion?
I have not played any of the expansion, no.
Some of them are good. Probably the best expansion is just the one that expands the game board to be larger.
Yeah.
Because then you can play with more people. But even if you play with less people, there's just more space.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a little bit more variability in play there.
Well, whenever we play with 3 people, we typically flip like 3 tiles and just have a couple pawns.
A couple pawns.
A couple pawns.
Just a couple pawns.
Up on the board.
Yeah.
But I'm actually going to be playing it. I'm also needing to record a game for a project for my linguistics class.
Oh, yeah, I got that text from you about where you were teaching classmates how to play
Coup.
Miserable. Yeah.
Miserable.
Yeah, I haven't played Coup, but I played, I think, Coup's predecessor. You know the game, a very similar card game, but it wasn't
What's
Coup.
It called?
Well, it was.
You're going to have to give me a name?
It's the game right before Coup by the same people.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's a baron and a prince and
Check the chat. Anybody know?
There's a cleric. There's a cleric.
It's being referred to right now.
Yeah, it's very similar. You roll the dice, you move your mice, nobody gets hurt.
I got nothing.
That was a veggie tip. Anyway, we're gonna see you later. Thanks for sticking by, folks. Don't forget to check out our website, our YouTube channel. You can check out all these great videos, these things that you only can see here on Top Deck Productions.
Yeah, you can see your boy featured.
Yeah, Victor's got a lot of matches that he loses really badly.
I lose a lot of them. The vast majority. It's
a lot
kind
of
misplays. Honestly,
a lot of cheating. Actually, Victor cheats a lot on camera. So go check those videos out.
Slander a man in his own home, and you can expect to cross swords. I just want you to know that. It's a Game of Thrones reference.
But anyway, also we're also selling T-shirts these days. Bolt the Bird. So check out the website for those. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
All right.
We will see you on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, and actually, there's a PPTQ standard.
Oh, and there's a PPTQ.
If you guys want to step in,
I believe
Taylor going to be?
I believe Taylor Gunn and John Douglas, the wonderful commentators on Tuesday nights, will be stepping in for that. So.
And it will be standard.
Yep.
So.
Yep, you can check them out.
Feel free to tune into some standard spice. Maybe there'll be a showing of the new Grixis deck, which I think is quite cool.
It's probably going to be just a Teamer Energy versus Sultai Energy in the finals. Calling it right now.
You know what? I'm gonna.
And Teamer Energy is going to win.
I'm gonna say Teamer Energy versus 4-color Energy. That's my prediction.
Yeah, 4-color energy is also known as Sultai energy. Yeah.
I prefer it as more of a moist Jund type of vibe.
Moist Jund, yeah. And I think it's going to be Teamer versus Teamer or Teamer versus Sultai. And I think Teamer is going to beat Sultai because Glorybringer is a hell of a card.
You know what? I think it's going to be
Clear eyes.
green-white aggro versus blue-white approach.
So, green-white aggro, what is that in Standard right now?
That's his deck. It was at the Pro Tour. It actually did pretty well.
I saw a mono-white Eldrazi.
There's also a mono-white Vampires deck that actually had the winningest record at the Pro Tour.
Really?
And had the best conversion rate. It may not have had the winningest record, but I know it had the best conversion rate. I think every player that played it converted to the second day.
Huh.
I do believe I remember reading that it was.
What are the aggressive cards in green-white aggro?
I
All right,
know that's a deck.
Victor doesn't know. We'll see you guys later.
All right, bye.